Hi there, welcome to my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell, and you're in my kitchen. Prego. Pasta alla Norma, one of Sicily's most loved pasta dishes. Because I've tried it and made it several times, I know why. It's really good. Eggplant, pasta of course, tomatoes, a little bit of garlic, thrown together really easily in about 30 minutes. So the pasta that it typically has is Casarecce, which is this little kind of like almost tube S-shaped pasta that originates in Sicily. I've already shared how to make pasta, but I'm going to show you how to make this shape. I'm going to try anyhow. So I've rolled it out pretty thinly. I'm going to take my scraper and I'm just going to press down. I don't know if you can see this. Let me show you one more time. Okay. I guess it's a rhetorical question. It's not like you can really answer me, but I'll show you one more time. Pretty easy. You're doing them all at once. It was easier for me. But here's an easier way. You can just buy it. It's like out of Whole Foods. You can probably see the shape. It's long. It's basically the way it's S-shaped, and it actually holds the pasta and the tomatoes and the sauce really well. Really great in pesto, a lot of different sauces. But you can use anything. Fusilli, is that how you pronounce it? Any sort of short pasta. You can also use like penne, some kind of macaroni. All right, let's get started. So I'm gonna heat up my oil for the eggplant. Just gonna make sure this is good to go and not getting too hot. I think we're good. And let's heat this up. I'm gonna get some olive oil going in my pan here. I'm putting some olive oil in this big frying pan, this big cast iron pan, and I love to make dishes in this. Putting about a 1/4 cup in here. And I'm gonna get my garlic started. And you can use 1 to 2 cloves. I really do like garlic, so. In fact, I'm learning that, you know, there's all these Italian dishes from the north, from Rome, from the Amalfi Coast, and then even Sicily. And you know what, I'm really starting to like a lot of the Sicilian dishes. Are we doing this first? Let me just make sure. Hold on. Sweat garlic, yes. Olive oil, sweat garlic, using my press. And alternatively, you can just chop it up. But this makes it so easy. Please don't buy the garlic in the jar. I don't suggest you buy it in the bag where it's already peeled because it's more pungent. And this is just gonna give you a fresher flavor. I think I'm going to need one of those. If your garlic starts to burn, which mine might, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water just to slow it down. I think it might smoke a little, let's see. All right. So this is already ready. I am going to add 1 14-ounce can of cherry tomatoes. And I'm gonna add almost a handful of fresh basil. And I'm gonna tear that up so I can get them all the really good flavors in there. It's much better than chopping it. I mean, of course, it'll keep it uniform if you chop it, but I like the rough, rustic flavor, look, like this is gonna give. And I have it on medium-low heat. Can you see? All right. Ooh, oregano, almost forgot. And this is optional, but I do like a little bit of oregano in here. I'm putting just like about a teaspoon in here. Again, optional, but I do like it, and that is a little bit of chili flakes, and I have the Calabrian chili that I've just kind of put in the grinder here. Yum. All right, one of the biggest components, the eggplant. So in order to prepare the eggplant, let me go ahead and peel the top off first. This is optional, but I like my eggplant to be, I don't want it to be squishy. I don't like it to be soggy. So we're gonna prepare it 2 ways. So first off, let me get rid of this end. I'm just gonna slice about 10 to 12 pieces on the end. Make some little slivers, coins, whatever you'd call them. These. And then with the rest of the eggplant, I am going to peel it just because, you know, there's several different kinds of eggplant, and ours in the US actually can tend to be a little bitter, especially the larger ones. So in order to make it, and you've probably seen some people will, they'll just peel part of it, or they'll peel all of it, or they won't peel it at all. I personally like it to be completely peeled. I don't want any bitter, but I am using the peel on the little rounds because it's just a little bite. Okay. All right, done. Now we're gonna cut little cubes. Let me check on this. You know what, I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to this. And this is to taste, whatever you would like. And some kosher salt. And I'm gonna continue to taste this just in case I wanna add. Back to our eggplant. So I'm gonna cube it. When you look inside and you see if it has a lot of brown seeds, sometimes people will cut out the brown seeds because those can be bitter as well. I don't mind the way this one looks. It's pretty good. I don't mind you. Dun, dun. I feel, you know, you're supposed to talk to your plants, right? Happy food, happy person. I just made that up. You can use it if you want. Hashtag. All right, now that I have this cut up in cubes, so this is the optional part that I told you about. You don't have to do this, but I like to do this. What I do is I'll lay this out on a towel and I'll sprinkle salt on it and let it sit for about 30 minutes until it draws out some of that moisture, and it will make it not soggy, which is what I have here. With this, I am going to toss it in some flour, and I have some gluten-free flour. You are not gonna notice the difference. Might as well use the gluten-free. Just make sure it doesn't have any xanthium gum. You can use it if you want, but you don't need it. It doesn't need that gumminess. King Arthur actually has one without the xanthium gum, and you can see down here. Alternatively, you can use rice flour that's naturally gluten-free. You can use a little bit of potato starch if you want. So, just gonna toss this in some of that flour. You don't need it to wait, but you don't need a bunch on here, so just make sure to kind of shake it off as you go. All right, now we're going to fry. How's this guy doing? Looks pretty good. Water's good. All right, I know this is ready, but I'm gonna check it. You know, I'm looking for 350 degrees. It might even be too hot. It's a little too hot. I can kind of bring down the heat. I have olive oil in here. I don't have a lot in here. I just have about this much of the pan. Again, it's just about this much, and it's just to shallow fry, as we call. In order to check the temperature, I'm putting a toothpick in and I'm looking for little bubbles, a little trail. If I see that little trail of bubbles, I know it's done. I know it's ready, 350 degrees. All right. So here's my eggplant that I have dried out for 30 minutes, and I've tossed it in the gluten-free flour. So your oil, if it's not hot enough, then it'll be really soggy, really greasy. If it's too hot, it'll burn. So I did this in about 3 batches. If you overload the pan, then the heat will reduce, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you guys already know this, but just in case. And I only need to fry it for a couple minutes. How's this doing? This looks really good. I probably could have gone with a smaller pan. You know what? I am going to add in for flavor a Parmesan rind. You can buy these if you want. I've seen them at Whole Foods. They actually sell them because they have them after they have grinded their Parmesan. Buy the whole thing of Parmesan, grind it yourself. Fresh ground Parmesan is so much better. It has a creamier texture. Save your rinds. You can throw them in the freezer. It is going to add so much flavor. It's going to give that creamy texture. All right. I'm kind of letting this cook down. And all the instructions, if you're watching this on YouTube, they're down below. If you're watching this on IGTV, they're right here. Watch, they like change the format or something and I'm like pointing. All right, anyhow, back to food. Dun, 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 dun. This is about done. And this is about done. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Hope not, otherwise I'll have to redo it. But you know what, let me go ahead and drop my pasta now. Since I'm using fresh pasta, it's only gonna take a couple minutes. Make sure my water is boiling, and I put about a small handful of salt in there because I want it to be kind of like the ocean, because again, I'm flavoring the layers of flavors. Layers of flavor in here. And because I'm using fresh pasta, I need to add some olive oil, otherwise it'll stick together. It's already kind of sticking together anyhow. I have 400 grams of pasta. And we use a quick stir. General rule of thumb is about 100 grams of pasta per person. So 400 grams, 4 cups, okay? So a cup of pasta per person should be enough. This looks really good. It smells really good. All right, let's check on the pasta. Oh, this is done. Oh, this looks really good. Hit this with a little bit of salt. Here is all my fried eggplant. I already know this tastes so good. I put it under an absorbent towel just to absorb some of the extra oil. It's so good. I can literally just munch on this. Way better than like buying potato chips. It's just yummy. Let me see how my pasta's doing. I'm gonna put, I have a lid. See if I can get that boiling. So the name pasta alla Norma, let me see if I can read it to you so I don't forget, is rumored to have been named after Vincenzo Bellini, well-loved opera Norma due to its greatness, because apparently somebody looked at it and went, wow, Norma, it's absolutely beautiful. I guess I just want somebody to look at me like the way he looked at pasta alla Norma. Getting cheesy now. Oh, speaking of cheese, it has cheese. Let me put some in. Bum, 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 bum. Let me use this. Ricotta Salta. It's basically ricotta, but it's hard. It's really good. If you can't find it, you can use, you know what's really good in this, but it's not authentic? Mozzarella. And it's not really pasta alla Norma, but it's your own version. Super, super good. You can also use pecorino romano. It's sharper, but it has a good flavor. Caciovallo. You could even use feta if you wanted. I'm gonna throw some in now, just to kind of give this some more flavor. Oops. I love how, see, my food's talking to me. Also known as boiling over. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shape some more here. And we have about 7 ounces or 200 grams. All right, ready to go. I think I'm just waiting on the pasta up. And the pasta's already done. It's floated to the top. So normally when you put your pasta in, you want to remove it about 3 minutes before it's finished. Before it says it's finished on the box or bag, because you want it to be al dente. So let's see. How am I going to get this from over there to over there? Very carefully. Make sure it's done actually. Yum. I do want like 1 more minute on it. Just 1 more minute. It has flown to the top. So good. Make your own pasta. It's worth it. It's eggs. It's flour, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of kneading, and 30 minutes in the refrigerator. All right. Pasta in. All right, I'm saving this precious water. In fact, we're actually going to add some because it's going to help make this cream. Let me see how much I'm going to need. I don't want to add too much now, but we're actually making a cream with the gluten from the pasta as it releases it, the starch, and it's going to give that creaminess. I'm going to add our eggplant as well. I think you're starting to get the idea of how amazing this dish is. I'm going to keep stirring it around because, like, the pasta is going to release those starches and the gluten. If it starts to get dry, a little bit of the pasta water, not regular water, you really, this is gold. You don't want to dump it out until you know it's done. because this has some of the gluten and some of the starch in it as well. All right, I'm gonna add some more of the ricotta salata. So good. Probably could have went less pasta on this, but it just looks absolutely beautiful. So remember, we have that Parmesan rind in there. We have the ricotta salata. We have these cherry tomatoes. We've got the eggplant. And I'm gonna throw some more basil on here. Do I make you hungry? Oh my gosh. I think I just snorted too. Do I make you horny? What am I doing? All right, this is my pretend show. I'm gonna go another piece of basil. You know what? This is all the colors of Italy is what this is. And it looks absolutely amazing. Let's plate it. Let me get a bigger plate, bigger spoon here. Yeah. All right. Turn this guy off. Do I have a fork? No. Hey guys, pasta alla Norma in less than 30 minutes. In fact, I think we just did it in about 20. Thank you for watching my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell. Please like and subscribe. But before you do that, let me get you the perfect bite. Bye for you, and bye for me. Thank you for watching my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell. And my eyes just rolled back in the back of my head because it's so good. If you try it, if you make it, please send me photos. See you next time. Ciao.